Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The Russian opposition activist Alexei Navalny is unconscious in hospital after suffering from suspected poisoning. Mr. Navalny is an outspoken critic of the Russian President Vladimir Putin, and he was returning to Moscow by plane from Tomsk in Siberia when he began to feel ill. The plane made an emergency landing and he was taken to hospital. According to his press secretary, he is now in a coma. Doctors have not confirmed that Mr. Navalny was poisoned, although the hospital declared that they had received test results and made a diagnosis. Kamala Harris has accepted her historic nomination as the US Democratic Party's vice presidential candidate, running with Joe Biden for the White House.
I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States. In a speech to her party convention, the first US woman of color on a major party ticket attacked President Donald Trump's failure of leadership. And let's be clear, there is no vaccine for racism. We've got to do the work for George Floyd, for Breonna Taylor, for the lives of too many others to name, for our children, and for all of us.
Another eagerly awaited speaker was former President Barack Obama, who delivered a stinging discourse accusing Mr. Trump not to have any interest in preserving the US democracy.
For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work. No interest in finding common ground. No interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves. Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. And the consequences of that failure are severe. 170,000 Americans dead. Millions of jobs gone, while those at the top take in more than ever. Our worst impulses unleashed. Our proud reputation around the world badly diminished.
In the UK, the brother of the Manchester Arena bomber has been jailed for at least 55 years for the murders of 22 people in May 2017. Hashem Abedi helped his older sibling, Salman, to plan the attack that killed 22 people and injured hundreds more on May the 22nd, 2017, at the end of a concert by Ariana Grande. He was convicted after a court heard he was just as guilty as his brother, who detonated the bomb. Abedi, who had travelled to Libya before the bombing, was arrested shortly after the terror attack and extradited back to the UK to face trial. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has met Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg for closed-door talks at Berlin's Chancellery. The 17-year-old and a group of youth climate activists delivered a petition to the Chancellor, signed by 125,000 people, demanding EU leaders halt all investments into fossil fuel exploration and extraction.
To treat the climate crisis like...
Thunberg recently accused European leaders of political inaction to save the environment. The United Nations has joined a global condemnation of the military takeover in Mali, which saw President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta forced to resign. The UN's Security Council echoed similar calls by regional bodies for the immediate release of all government officials and the restoration of constitutional order. It's as Malian Army Colonel Assimi Goïta presented himself as head of the junta that ousted Mali's president. He is one of 5 military officers who announced this week's coup on the state broadcaster. Lightning strikes have sparked dozens of wildfires in Northern California in the United States, forcing thousands to flee their homes. Local authorities reported the state was hit by nearly 11,000 lightning strikes in 72 hours, sparking 367 fires, as the state suffered a record heat wave. Authorities have also reported a pilot of a helicopter fighting the fires has died after his aircraft crashed. And finally, a British inventor has achieved a Guinness World Record for the fastest electric ice cream van by reaching a speed of just over 70 miles per hour in his eco-friendly vehicle. It's taken Ed China over 2 years to electrify his van, which originally had a diesel engine. Mr. China created a conversion kit for ice cream vans to move from diesel to electric to help combat emissions. He scooped the speed of almost 74 miles per hour and celebrated afterwards by posing for pictures with his certificate and, of course, eating an ice cream. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.